The Fan Upstate rolling on until 7 p.m. today. Can I get an amen? You darn well should, Mother Nature. Give us a spring-type day today. We've earned it. We deserve it. And we got just that.
Appreciate it now because it's going to be like 80 degrees on Friday.
Is it really?
Yeah. We're going to see a jump. It's like Mother Nature is saying, I'm going to screw you one more time. Tomorrow it's going to be 60 degrees, cloudy, and raining. And then Thursday, it's like when you see one of those graphs and it just goes straight up in the air. Straight up, because we're going to go from 60 to 71 to 80 in a 3-day stretch.
Diesel, I didn't know that Mother Nature was a Furman fan. F you one time, F us 3 times. She's effing us all the time.
I think she's effed us more than 3 times this year.
I would agree with that. Would agree with that completely. Folks, here's what we've got cooking on the show today. It's going to be a good one. We've got Jake Crane on March Madness and his always hot topics from Crane & Company and the Real Daily Wire joining us at 3:20. We have Shane Beamer versus the world joining us at 3:40 p.m. today. How are the Carolina Panthers doing in free agency thus far? I am not buying the roses that some are selling. The Lady Gamecocks make their way to back-to-back national championships. They're now in the Sweet 16. I'm going to tell you the March Madness men's team that they remind me of, and you're going to find it very interesting to see how their season ended up. It is that time. I can't believe it's that time again. Our media mock draft. Our media mock draft kicks off today, where once a day we go all over the country to media members in each and every city picking in the NFL draft, and we have them make their pick for the team that they cover. Today, Sheena Quick, Fox News in Charlotte, is going to be drafting number 1 overall for the Carolina Panthers. They're saying this could be the most watched baseball game in history. We've got the top 5 at 5. We've got Can We Stop? And we have you here on the most interactive sports radio show anywhere. Folks, let us open today with this. Let us open today with this. It's fascinating to look at what's going on in March Madness right now. I think there's a lot of really exciting stuff, going on in March Madness. And I think as you look at this, we are going to get one very, very clear answer as to what's going on, right? One very, very clear answer. And that answer is, do we really like the underdogs? Do we really dig them? Do we really like them? Because here is something you may not know, okay? This I think is tremendous, because I feel about the NBA very similarly to the way that you guys feel about the NBA, right? I feel very, very, very similarly. March Madness just had its highest first-round ratings in college basketball history. Highest first-round ratings in college basketball history. Well, how did that happen? The NBA is having all-time low ratings. Well, Mark, how do you explain that? You always say that we are elitists when it comes to sports. When we only like the very best, and certainly the NBA is a higher level of basketball than college basketball. Nobody is disputing that. The NBA is averaging 120 points a game. They play 48 minutes a game. College basketball is averaging 63 points a game. They play 40. No one's arguing that the NBA isn't a higher level. But all of the drama and the back and forth and the wokeness, right? And the soaring salaries and the spoiled brats and the flashing guns at nightclubs. South Carolina's own Ja Morant. I'm talking to you. The flat earthers, Kyrie Irving, right? It's worn people down. Darren Ravel, a sports business reporter, spoke to an NBA player recently who said the jersey swaps, the hugs and smiles after the game, have completely ruined rivalries. He said it gives fans the sense that no game really means anything. And he adds, when you lose, you should go straight to the locker room. Don't act like you're closer with your opposition than you are with your own fan base. If you are hugging and doing jersey swaps with the opponents, are you also doing that with your fan base? Or are you above your fan base? Right? All of these things have created this issue with the NBA, and college basketball is the beneficiary, in my opinion. Whereas college football and the NFL have had a real synergy working with one another, there has been the feeling to me, as somebody close to both leagues, a figurative bird going up from college basketball to the NBA and a return fire bird coming from the NBA back to college basketball. That return bird has not been viewed very, very favorably. And now college basketball is here. Now they've got their highest rated March Madness ever. And I would ask you, why? What are the reasons for that? Right? But first, back to my original point here. Okay? Back to the original point at hand. Do you guys realize the answer that we are going to get here? The answer that we're going to get the rest of the way in this year's NCAA tournament? Because you guys say, as long as possible, you guys have told me forever that you love the upsets. Only the ratings say that you don't. The ratings say you're not down with the upsets in any way, shape, or form. You're not down with it at all. The ratings say you want the big brands in the tournament. So which is it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the top 50 biggest brands in college basketball, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are gone. They're gone. Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky, and Kansas all eliminated. North Carolina's sorry asses didn't make it. Duke didn't make the Sweet 16. Neither did Kentucky, neither did Kansas. The 4 biggest brands in college basketball, none of which have made it to the Sweet 16. And now, my friends, we get the answer to that very important question. Do we really like the upsets or do we not? You guys tell me. What do you think? None of the 4 biggest brands in remaining in March Madness. What are the ratings going to be like the rest of the way? Are we going to get A-level ratings? Are we going to continue to set records because the big brands aren't in? Because historically, that has very much not been the case. Very much not been the case in any way, shape, or form. Here's my theory. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, and I've really thought hard about this, I believe that the transfer portal has helped college basketball. I believe it has helped college basketball. I believe that now, when your team stinks and your team is having a difficult time recruiting, now I believe there is hope. There is hope that did not exist previously, right? Did not exist. And it's fascinating to consider, like how you can change and adapt and improve your team. Your roster could stink going into the offseason. In seasons past, that used to be a big problem, right? There was no way you could turn around a roster between the end of one year and the beginning of the next year. You needed years to turn around a roster. Years to be able to successfully do that, right? Now, you can turn around a roster like overnight, and it gives fans hope. You are seeing that hope on display. You are seeing some of the talent be poached from the biggest brands and going to where they have a chance to play. Do you know, folks, that among the 16 teams that are alive still in March Madness, they come from 11 different conferences? How cool is that? You know, if you were looking at a map of the United States and you're saying, okay, well, what parts of the United States are comprised by the Sweet 16 that remains. Well, let's look at this, shall we? Diesel, how do you define the Midwest?